Miners, we got a fun one today. For those of you who've been around the channel for a while, you should be pretty familiar with this archetype. This is Karn Forge Combo, Mystic Forge Combo, Artifact Storm, whatever you want to call it. But this is an artifact-based combo deck that is all about just dumping a ton of artifacts onto the battlefield, making a shitload of mana, churning through your deck with any of the number of engines that are in this deck, and eventually killing your opponent with a Walking Ballista for their entire life total. So this is a pseudo big mana artifact combo deck. We have all of the soul lands. We are talking all 4 ancient tombs, all 4 city of traders, even 4 crystal veins are honorary soul land there, because all of our big plays are starting at 2 mana for the most part. In that 2 mana slot, you've got defense grid to protect your combo, which is huge because we have no real interaction outside of that. And this is definitely a force check deck. And if we can stop them from being able to play the force, we can just go and do our own thing. And then the biggest part here is the Grim Monolith. It is a 2 mana artifact that taps for 3 mana. It is essentially meant to be a quick burst of mana in the early game because it actually costs 4 mana to untap it normally. And it's one of the weird cards that Wizards has printed throughout its history where it doesn't untap during your untap step. So if you play this fairly, it's meant to be like a quick burst of mana in the early game, and then later on you can untap it when you have nothing else to do, so that you have a whole bunch of mana in the late game. But our plan is to abuse the fact that it creates 3 mana for only 2 mana by comboing it with Manifold Key or Voltaic Key. For all intents and purposes, they are the same card. 1 mana artifact, 1 mana, tap it, untap target artifact. So you can play a Grim Monolith, tap it, you got 3 mana in your pool, use 1 of it to tap Manifold Key to untap it. Your Grim Monolith has now made 5 mana. And you have a way to be able to untap it when normally you wouldn't have it untap on your untap step. So the whole point is to make a ton of mana by being able to tap your Grim Monolith for 3, Grim Monolith for 3. Basalt Monolith kind of does the same thing, just it untaps for less and it costs more. It's completely mana neutral. But you're abusing these monoliths with the keys to just produce a ton of mana. We ramp into that with your normal artifact mana. You've got your Mox Opals, Lotus Petals, and your soul lands. So the whole point is to get down one of these with a Voltaic Key. This is your mana sink here, or your mana engine. How do we finish the game from here? Well, that's where all of our 4-drops come into play. We've got Karn the Great Creator, Mystic Forge, and the One Ring. Karn shuts down opposing artifacts, tutor stuff out of your sideboard, blow up their lands, whatever. You all know what the Karn board does, and we'll get into the specific Karn board when we move to the sideboard. Mystic Forge allows you to look at the top card of your library and allows you to play colorless spells off the top of your library. Well, everything in this deck is colorless, so essentially it's letting us just play whatever the hell we want off the top of our library. The way that that engine stops is if, for some reason, we hit multiple lands and we don't have a land drop left. So you can tap Mystic Forge, pay 1 life, and you can exile the top of your card to get out of the way. So that's one way to keep churning through your deck if you need to. And then the One Ring, obviously, you cast it, protection from everything for a turn cycle, and you draw cards off of it. That, combined with Mystic Forge, can actually help you manipulate the top of your deck as well. If there's something on the top of your deck and you've run out of your Mystic Forge activations to clear it, you can clear it by drawing it with the One Ring. These are also things that you can untap with Manifold Key to keep the chain going to stop yourself from fizzling. So say you hit a land, get it out of the way with Mystic Forge, there's another land. Well, if you got a Manifold Key, pay the 1 mana, tap it, untap Mystic Forge, tap it again, clear whatever that land is off the top of your library. The thing that really makes this deck go off is Paradox Engine, which is whenever you cast a spell, untap all of your non-land permanents, which are all mana rocks, or card draw, or card selection. So you get a Paradox Engine on the battlefield with any of these other things going, whether it's the One Ring, Mystic Forge, you are churning through your entire deck, you are drawing your entire deck, you are making virtually infinite mana, you are going to get up to asinine amounts of mana to be able to win the game. So how exactly are you going to win the game with all of this? Because if you notice, our only real win con in the main deck at this point is Urza Saga making big-ass construct tokens. Well, that's where Karn and the Karn board come into play. So in addition to some of your engine pieces being in the sideboard as well for you to be able to find them if you need them, such as your Paradox Engine or One Ring, you've also got Mycosynth Lattice to be able to go for the hardcore Mycosynth Lattice lock and completely lock your opponent out of the game. or you can go grab a Walking Ballista to be able to just kill your opponent from basically any life total, because by the time you're doing this, you're going to have essentially infinite mana. So those are the main ways that you're going to win this game. In theory, if something happens, you can use Karn to turn some of your non-zero drop artifacts into creatures and beat down with. You can beat them down with Urza's Construct tokens as well. That's really the only ways you're winning this game if you're not killing them with Walking Ballista or locking them out with Microsynth Lattice. The main deck is also very much, you need to have your engine within the first couple of turns. The Serum Powders are in the deck to be able to have extra mulligans, because Grim Monolithic Key are so important to making this deck work. So in addition to your normal mulligans, you get your free mulligans with Serum Powders. The other kind of cool thing with Serum Powder is because it's putting everything in exile, you can actually go get it later with Karn if you need to. It's also funny because that interacts with a lot of the exile-based removal and stuff like Force of Negation, where if your opponent is putting the things you have in exile with those, you can actually just go get them back again later with Karn the Great Creator anyways, because it says from your sideboard or exile. So that's a funny little interaction there. A couple of other things you have in the sideboard as well for Karn to be able to play around with. You've got Ensnaring Bridge if you're up against like show and tell decks, or anything with big creatures, or if you're in a position where you just kind of want to turtle up and wait a few turns until you can actually get everything all set up to go off. There's a Basalt Monolith in the sideboard as well. Just have another mana rock you can go grab with Karn that works with the key loops to create a bunch more mana if you need it. You can get the Argenta Masticores in the sideboard with him if you want, but those are actually meant to be brought into the main deck to be able to deal with problematic permanents. Since this is a colorless deck, there are not a lot of things that are colorless that can just straight up destroy problematic permanents. Argenta Masticore, it's a 5/5 clock, which is nice, but also its ability of being able to discard a card and then destroy a target permanent with converted mana cost equal to or less than. That's how you're going to get rid of your problematic stuff, such as Stony Silences, Deafening Silence. You can use it to get rid of Collector Roof, Thalia, stuff like that. Just anything that is stopping you from doing what you want to be able to do, because there are so many hate permanents available in Legacy. You need just kind of a catch-all way to get rid of them. And then, like I said, a 5/5 body is nothing to scoff at either. The protection for multicolor is not irrelevant when you're seeing show and tell decks switching over to Atraxa as a main finisher now, because you can actually get through the Atraxa with this thing. Or you can block the Atraxa so that they don't gain life and you don't lose life. So it does have some other niche situations where that's relevant. Other cards, again, they're just to kind of stop your opponent from stopping you from doing things. Dismembers are to be able to get rid of those hate creatures such as Thalia, Collector Roof, or any problematic permanent creature that might cause you some kind of issues. Like you can kill Broadside Bombardiers with it because that's everywhere and that's going to take you out super fast. Leyline of the Void is just to stop the graveyard decks so that you have time to be able to do your thing, because a lot of the graveyard decks are even faster than this. You can have turn ones with this deck, but you're mostly going to be going off like turn 3, turn 4. So being able to slow down those graveyard-based decks with Leyline of the Void gives you the time to be able to set up what you're going to do. So let's take this through a league, see how it does. I know artifact decks are not that great at this point. There's a lot of artifact hate. There's a lot of storm hate. And I mean, even though the finisher of this deck doesn't have the storm keyword on it, I consider this a storm deck. You're chaining a bunch of spells together, churning through your deck, creating a shitload of mana, and then killing them with one big spell at the end of all of this, whether it's your Walking Ballista or your Microsynth Lattice. So I consider this storm adjacent. It's an honorary storm deck in my opinion. But yeah, let's take this to a league, see how it does, and see if we can Karn some fools. Catch you on the wrap up. All right, let's forge some shit up. I like this a lot, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this actually. See what our opponent's on. Something black. So the question mostly just becomes, okay, so we drew a Basalt Monolith, so that's mana neutral. Can we get Karn down in one turn, or can we get Paradox Engine down? The other thing we could do is play it safe and just play a defense grid this turn. So I can go 2 into 3 into 3 into 4. But then my acceleration is gone. So I think we're just going to start off with a defense grid. And then try to go off next turn, because we'll actually Oh, okay. So opponent's on Reanimator. Villainous. Interesting. This is a unique Reanimator build. Well, I like our sideboard tech against them, but we'll see what happens here. Like, they're gonna get to reanimate and draw a bunch of cards. Just casually draw 8 when it enters. See what they get here. I mean, luckily, we have some pretty good things we can do here, as long as they don't just absolutely wreck our hand. Like, this was probably the least scary of all the things that they theoretically could have gotten here. I mean, it was a draw 8. Dark Ritual, okay. Like, it just... all that really matters is how badly they shred our hand here, honestly. Oh, there's an Unmask. I'm assuming they take the Karn here. But they might take our Mana Acceleration. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, they take the Mana Acceleration. That's interesting. Do they have more discard, or... what is this? Atraxa. Okay, so I'm assuming that means they probably have... wow, they're going fucking deep. Is this just like a version of Tin Fins or something? They got some griefs and shit. Let's see how much more of our hand they end up taking apart. Because I'm sure they have a whole bunch of free discard spells still. We see at least a grief in there, so we know they have at least one. And there goes Karn. Faithless Looting, okay. Discards 2 Archons. Are they gonna get another Archon back? I'm guessing so. Do you have more? I mean, they're over halfway through their deck. I'm assuming that they just win here. I just want to see their deck, really, is all this is coming down to. I'll let them do their thing. See if there's any other weird ones besides Villas in here. Alright, yeah. Well, we'll just go to the next one. That's fine. They know what we're doing. We know what they're doing. For all of the fetch lands, I haven't seen any actual... well, they got dual lands. At least that. Okay. So up against Reanimator. Leyline's coming in. Defense grids are pretty much useless. Yeah, let's just try that. Run that back. This is a lot of mana. This is a turn 1 Mystic Forge. But we don't have any defense against what our opponent's really doing here. But this is a shitload of mana, because what, this would be 2, 4, 6 Mystic Forge. And then hope we see where that takes us. But we have no graveyard hate whatsoever. But this is a Thoughtseize-proof hand, so you know what, we're keeping it. As long as they're not on some weird Chancellor of the Annex build, I think we're good. Because we can do some pretty disgusting stuff on turn 1 here. Alright, no Chancellor of the Annex start. Alright, got some more mana. Let's make black mana just to be safe. Into a land. We don't want that. A Lotus Petal. We actually have the mana for this. Black. Whatever. Let's do more black. Into another Paradox Engine. Okay. The nice part is we can kind of go apeshit next turn now. Assuming the opponent doesn't just, like, somehow have a 1-mana way to get the fuck out of this. Like, even if they have, like, ramp into a Serenity, we can get out of this pretty fucking easily. Because it'll give us another turn to get through this. Like, even if they show and tell something in here. Okay, yeah, they're ramped into a Serenity. So, I mean, we have another turn still. Which we're going to be able to do absolutely disgusting things with. That's just going to depend on what the top of our deck looks like. Like, luckily this is delayed Artifact Hate. I mean, we know worst case scenario we can cast this Paradox Engine just to generate mana. Leyline of the Void, there's not really a point in playing that with Serenity out. So let's start out by making a bunch of mana. Luckily, we can kind of cycle through the top of our deck pretty easily here. We also now get well, only one untapped, technically. I forgot this is technically a legendary artifact. Alright, so we get that in. Doesn't really matter. Let's go here. Serum Powder. Yep, we want to do this. I think we're probably pretty good where we're at here. We are going to make just asinine amounts of mana. Play the Serum Powder. There's a Grim Monolith. Unfortunately, I can't just, like, yield through all of this. And I do need to make all of this mana. Fortunately, this is very, very quick intensive. There's the Karn. Okay. This should be deterministic here. Hold on. Alright, this should be pretty deterministic here. I don't see how we lose from here. Play out the Karn. And then I just need to get up to 40 mana. Luckily, this does generate just assloads of mana relatively quickly. We will exile the top card. Okay, not the best of cards, that's fine. Boom. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Like I said, luckily, the turns where we start doing stuff, it builds up mana very quickly. And we're actually at 40 mana now. So we'll go get the Walking Ballista. Where are you? Walking Ballista. For a shitload. Alright, wait for X to hit 20. X is 20. Now we have mana left over to be able to do this as many times as we want. Like, if they somehow find a way to, like, fuck this up and screw us over, we have ways out of it. Just a casual turn 2. I don't even know what the fuck Storm is currently. You know. Alright, so being on the draw, we're definitely going to want to mulligan for a Leyline. We do know for a fact the opponent has Serenity now. Didn't even need the One Ring. And they're dead! Alright. So now we definitely go for mulligan hard as hell for a Leyline. Alright, do we want to change anything else being on the draw? I'm going to guess no. I really can't think of anything else I'd even want to bring in to replace this last defense grid. Like, I just don't. So I think we just run it back. I'm honestly thinking about just powdering this away. We don't really care about anything in this hand. Did opponent keep on 7? No, opponent mulligan. We're going to powder this one away. So, like, this is great if we don't get Thought Seized on turn 1. The question just becomes, is do we trust this hand? Because opponent can definitely do some crazy shit here. It's another powder hand, but I don't think I want to powder this. The question is going to become, do they mulligan for Artifact Hate again? I think we're going to mulligan. Being on the draw, we really want the Leyline. Yeah, we're going to mulligan again. There's the Leyline. We keep this. We're not doing anything with that Mox Opal and chuck the redundant Karn. And just hope that this Leyline can hold him off for a little while. We have 2 payoffs, so we can survive 1 Thought Seize effect. Alright, there's an Unmasked, pitching an Animate dead. We haven't seen any blue out of him yet, so we don't know if they're on the show and tell plan either. I think based off of what we have here, depending on what we draw, we're probably just going to lead off with the Urza Saga. Yeah, with the Basalt Monolith, we're going to lead off with Urza Saga. Because this can get us a key for the Basalt Monolith. And that allows us to start ramping. Okay, well, so much for that. Are they going to take the Karn or are they going to take the Basalt Monolith? Because if they take the Karn, it just means we need to find a payoff. And our Monolith can still let us do things. They also seem to have not banked on us having a ley line because they aren't... So far, they're still focusing on hand disruption and losing creatures over trying to reanimate them and save them for that. So it makes me think that they do not have the Serenity. Okay, they actually did take the ramp. That's interesting. Do they have another discard spell? I wouldn't hate just like a true soul land and just start shitting out construct tokens. Well, that's not a construct token, but... This does allow me to ramp stuff, and this gets me a card next turn. Alright, opponent has nothing. And now we get to start going crazy. Grab a Voltaic. I know there are differences, but I think for all intents and purposes right now, there really isn't one. I think this actually gives us some Mycosynth lock here. Yeah, this is the Mycosynth lock. So this should lock it up here. We'll grab Mycosynth Lattice, and then our opponent's just dead. Because they're hard locked out of the game at this point. Mycosynth Lattice? Play Lattice? And this should be the hard lock, because even if it had a Wear Tear, the red side is 2 mana that hits an artifact. So unless they randomly have some kind of counter magic that I'm unaware of and we just fucked ourselves over here, but I'm pretty sure this is just the hard lock win here. Because I don't think there's any one... Yeah, we got there. Cool. Awesome. On to the next one. Alright, round 2. Won the die roll. Let's go. This isn't particularly useful. I think, like, it sucks that we'd be getting rid of a 1-ring, but I think we're gonna powder this. This is a turn 2 Karn or turn 2 Mystic Forge. I think we keep this. Unfortunately, our opponent exactly knows what we're up to now. And they can keep a hand accordingly. We also could play a little bit slower and go down the Urza Saga route, just in case they're like a blue deck. I actually think I like that idea better. We'll play it a little on the slow side. Yeah, let's start out with the Urza Saga. We're going to start a little slower. That way we can have the Urza Saga tokens as a pivot if we need to. And we can see what our opponent is doing. Also, this way, if something is wastelanded, I think I'm more okay with this getting wastelanded than anything else at this point. Especially if we were to... Because we were probably going to lead off with Crystal Vein there. Alright. Okay, well, we called the Wasteland. So this could be Delver, this could be Beans. A Monolith would be good. Okay, let's drop the Crystal Vein first, and then next turn we'll figure out what we want to do. Luckily, Wasteland typically means our opponent's not on something stupid fast. You rarely ever see Wasteland in very fast decks. And for all we know, this could also be lands, but no, looks like Delver. Yes, very much getting Delver vibes here, so I think... I really don't want to lose this Crystal Vein yet, but we're going to see what we draw. Again, a Monolith would be great. Or if we hit another Soul Land. LED. This unfortunately does open this up to a Daze, but I think we have to go for it, unfortunately. Nice. Alright. I don't hate the land. Is there anything else I'd rather do here? No, I think we're going to pass the turn. We'll drop the Urza Saga, try to drop Karn next turn. The fact that they didn't have counter magic there was huge, and the fact that that Mystic Forge resolved. Like, it always feels good taking down Delver in game 1, which I think we're heavily favored from where we're at now. Serum Powder is interesting. I don't think I want that currently. Like, I'd love to be able to get this Paradox Engine down, but I don't think that's going to happen this turn. Another Karn. Well, we'll try to play the one off at the top of the deck then. Into another Forge. Alright, we're getting some action here. Alright, it looks like they're looking for a counter here. If they counter this one, we have another one in hand. They've been to Ponder. Do we get a counter out of their hand? No! Ooh. I think we just uptick, not on anything, and then we'll pass the turn again? Like, the fact that our stuff is just resolving and they've had no counter magic so far is fucking huge. Like I said, I really want to get this Paradox Engine down. Can they double bolt the Karn? Are they looking for a way to kill it? If they focus all their attention on this Karn, I'm actually kind of okay with that. They've already got an instant in the bin. They need a... Wow, they've been to Bolt. They either need a creature or an artifact. Or do they just have double Bolt? Oh, they just have double Bolt, okay. Like I said, we have another Karn, so I really don't care about that. Did they find the creature for the bin? Yes, Orcish Bowmasters, so we know they are on Grixis. And a Wasteland? Okay. I'm actually more okay with them taking out the Saga than I am the Ancient Tomb at this point. Another Saga. The One Ring. If I want to lose my hand, I can play that. They haven't had counter magic yet. Alright, that just resolved instantly. Actually, undo. Don't tap that. Tap here. Tap here. Play the One Ring. Yep. And that resolved instantly, which is nice. And now I can draw a bunch of cards. I probably should have done that a different way. Let's untap this. Draw again to clear that off. A defense grid is nice. Monolith is very nice. Keep the new one. Tap that for a monolith. I mean, we'll play this. Like, there's a part of me that's just like, fuck it, let's play this monolith too while we're at it. But, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna play it. Play the defense grid. Lotus Petal. Another Mox Opal. Into a... Oops. We weren't doing anything anyways because we hit the end of our chain here, and then next turn we get to play Paradox Engine and just go to fucking town. Assuming they don't have another Orcish Bowmasters. But they need another land before they can do that anyways. And they binned one, so that makes me think that's not the plan they're going for here. Because the Bowmasters is problematic. But they need exactly Black Land Bowmasters in this combination of cards here, because they're not going to be able to flash it in on our turn. Alright, there's a possibility for something here. They're not flashing it in right now. But I mean, as long as we make it to our turn... Okay, cool. We are good to just pop off now. Excellent. We'll lose 2, and we draw the Paradox Engine. A 0 drop on top would be nice. Defense grid. Okay, let's start doing things, shall we? Untap Grim Monolith. Okay, do whatever you want. Again, opponent, you don't have mana, so I'm not super sure what the hell the point of that was. Let's draw real quick, get some cards in hand, and clear out the top of our library. It don't work that way! Opponent, we got defense grid. You should have played that on your turn. Alright, and we hit a Grim Monolith. So if we play Grim Monolith, I'm trying to think of how we get enough mana. So yeah, I think we play that. This will net us 1 mana, which should give us the mana that we need. Yeah, this will give us the mana that we need to be able to... Alright, so we go down to 1 mana. Back up to 2. Play Defense Grid. Now we untap, and we basically just go infinite. Sweet. Start out by drawing some cards. And they skipped up. Alright, they saw the writing on the wall. Apparently, they did not know how Defense Grid worked. So, again, I always love being able to pick up a game 1 against Delver. Against Delver specifically, I think I want to bring in this pile right here. Like, take out the Basalt Monoliths. It feels weird bringing this in, but it does stop their Dragon's Rage Channelers and their Murktide regions from growing. I'm always iffy on Lion's Eye Diamonds. We can probably take those 2 out. And let's trim a Serum Powder. Bring these 5 in. Yeah, let's try that. Alright, so this hand is fucking nuts. Assuming we can resolve our first couple of spells. Because we have multiple payoffs. So basically, as long as they don't force like the first thing we do, and we can also play Grim Monolith around a Lotus Petal, I want to try to hang on to the One Ring until it's the turn that I want to go off, so that I'm protected from Bowmasters. Because we can get around a Daze. If they force the Forge, we still have a One Ring backup. Luckily, also, this deck, a lot of the artifacts we care about are much higher on the mana curve, so, like, Meltdown is much harder to be a blowout. Oh my god, that's so many fucking monoliths. Let's start out with the odd-colored one. They're not just F6. Alright, so that gets one of those out of the way. Okay, that's fine. Basically, as long as they don't have a Wasteland, we're good. Pondering. Did they bin it, or did they put it on? No, they put it on top, whatever it was. Like I said, as long as it's not a Wasteland, or if we draw another Soul Land, I think we're good. But that's the one thing about this deck, is even though we have a shitload of artifact mana, our actual lands are very thin. Alright, so it was a Wasteland. So another Soul Land off the top would work. Another mana source at all without them having a Daze would work. Another Mystic Forge, that's unfortunate. They're on the aggro plan, they're on a one-lander as well. Luckily, these haven't grown yet. Land. We'll take a key, okay. Well, we're gonna be able to go nuts once we get a land. Looks like it was a land, so now Bowmasters is a thing that can happen. So we basically just need a land. Sweet. And it's a Soul Land? Do you have another force? No. Okay. And we have multiple keys. Actually, no, let's play this out first. Now we will play this, because this plays around Daze. Alright, into another Mystic Forge. I don't particularly want that. My life total is... okay. It's another land, so even if they wasteland us, we can still do things. We also theoretically have multiple draws off of the One Ring as well. Alright, here's the Bowmaster. Yep, okay. That's fine. That is totally fine. This is why we held on to the One Ring. Yep, we're fine there too. We know we have another land coming. This is going to be a lot of damage coming at our face now, because that'll be able to turn Dragon Rage Channeler on. Really? Oh, yes? No? Is this a Meltdown? Is that their last card in hand? Is it Meltdown for 2? Oh no! Ah! They actually did have a Meltdown for 2? Okay. Well, there goes almost all of our mana. This does still leave us with a Mystic Forge, 2 lands, and a One Ring. The One Ring can buy us a turn. Another land. But there are definitely combinations of things off the top here that are able to get us out of this. Into the One Ring. Okay. Unfortunately, we're going to have no mana after all of this is said and done. Depending on what else is on the top. Okay, so we can grab... alright. And another Mystic Forge. Okay. Yeah. This gives us 1 turn to find a way out of this. Yeah, that Meltdown... ooh, Meltdown for 2 just fucked us over there, but... we're still up. Like, even if we lose this, we still have a game. We're going to game 3, so it's not like we're totally screwed. However, they're probably going to blow up our city, unfortunately. I would like them to tap out and do something else instead of blowing up our city. Because that mana is a restricting point here, unfortunately. But the smart thing is take out the city so that I'm restricted on mana. Yeah, especially now that they don't have any colored mana. This is not to shuffle. Double Wasteland. What the fuck were they trying to do there? Alright, yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, it means that this Urza Saga also is not going to be able to actually make any mana. We just need some crazy top decks here to be able to get out of this. We do not want... Defense Grid doesn't do anything either. City gives us mana. We go down to 1 into a Leyline of the Void that does nothing. Okay. Well, unfortunately, they had a very timely Meltdown. As I was saying, like, you have to get higher Meltdown numbers to be able to have the blowouts like you do, but they managed to get to the 3 mana before we can go off. So, I mean, we're just going to run it back. Being on the play is also going to help immensely as well, because if we can slam a turn 1 defense grid, a lot of the times that's just game over versus them. So this is very weak to a Wasteland. But I like the potential, so I think we're going to keep this. We also need another land pretty badly. Manifest it. Oh, no, it's not a Wasteland. Holy shit. I thought for sure that was going to be a Wasteland. Into a Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is not going to be anything other than card selection. Chucking a Bull. Okay. Alright, opponent, what have I drawn? Land? Soul Land specifically would be great. Okay. Not really what I was going for, but I'll take it. Hopefully they don't have a Meltdown and wipe all of this out. Granted, it's not going to wipe everything out. Again, a Wasteland here is kind of brutal. Okay, it's not a Wasteland. I'm curious if they have the Meltdown. If they do, that sucks. Because unfortunately what I'm about to do, they like whatever they found. So I think we are going to go ahead and go for a defense grid first. Black mana. Into a Delver, okay. We are going to try to slam a defense grid instead of running out more mana. Because this Crystal Vein definitely helps. What do we want? We have a Mox Opal already. Probably just want another... Do we want another Manifold Key or do we want a Lotus Petal? Like, Manifold Key has higher upside. We're going to try to slam this first, because if we can slam this first, then we can get down Mystic Forge. And they've got to blow a counter on this. Hopefully it clears the way for everything else. Force of Negation, okay. Alright. The question comes down to, this is Dazeable, so I think we're going to pass the turn. They bottomed a Delver. Yeah, I think we're just going to wait. Brainstorm, okay. Because I want to hold on to this in case they do have the Meltdown for 2. At this point, they'd only need to do it for 1, though. We'll see what they do. Brainstorming again, okay. They keep topping stuff, which is mildly concerning. This the Meltdown for 1? Yes. Meltdown for 1, so now we're in rebuild mode, which we can do from here. Like, they still have a relatively slow clock. Another Soul Land would be nice so that I can get down to Serum Powder. Okay, I don't hate that. See if we can get this down. Or do they have another counter? Alright, well, they are officially empty-handed. Of course they rip the Wasteland off the top. Why wouldn't they? Opponent just apparently is appeasing the top deck gods more than we are. However, they went for the... I mean, I guess it makes sense they went for the Soul Land, but... Alright. Well, we're on a 3-turn clock to figure our way out of this. Do they rip another Wasteland off the top? No? No, okay. A literally useless Leyline of the Void, okay. Grab a Lotus Petal, I guess. I mean, nothing we do here really matters. Yeah, unfortunately, our opponent just had the nuts. Like, they were able to just chain a bunch of shit together that worked. Like, if they hadn't had the force for the, defense grid, like, that would have been game over. I mean, this is also a good thing. Like, you can see that Leyline of the Void slows the opponent down when it's Delver, but it doesn't stop them. So, and now into a Karn. Alright, oh well. On to the next one. Alright, round 3. Lost the die roll. This is actually a decent hand. Well, I don't know. This is kind of a weird hand. Like, we've got... This would be a good hand if we want to go the Urza Saga routes. If we don't want to do that, it doesn't really do much in terms of comboing off. Like, we have 2 mana on turn 1 and a Manifold Key. And then nothing else really going on. But we're on the draw. We do have a Ring in the Mystic Forge. You know, I think we're going to keep this. Hopefully our opponent's not on some kind of, like, crazy combo deck. Ancient Tomb, okay. Oh, okay, they're on Riddlestorm. Got it. Do they have the Nutters? Is it Breakthrough? Yes. Everything goes under Containment Construct. And then they lose it all. Seems interesting. None of it particularly matters. Alright, so a Karn will be very good in this matchup. If we can get that. Yeah, a Karn will be very good here. We don't have to worry about counter magic. Another Urza Saga, okay. Well, we're just gonna run everything out. I mean, luckily there is a fail rate of our opponent's deck. They don't have the Riddlesmith out yet, but they did just get to draw 3. Another breakthrough. Okay. Did they hit a wheel this time? Yes, they did. Okay, so now we're gonna wheel. Luckily, this deck dies hard as hell to fucking Graveyard Hate. What is this? Chain of Vapor main deck. Defense grids are useless, Force of Wills. Do they have the Riddlesmith to be able to go infinite now? No, because I think they'd run it out if they did. Alright, they see my Urza Saga twice. Okay, they say the Urza Saga and the Voltaic Key. So they're just trying to refuel again for next turn. We did spin into... We actually spun into some decent shit. Do they have the Riddlesmith now? No, another Containment Construct, okay. Swinging for 2. Alright. So I don't hate the hand that we got wheeled into. I would like another payoff beyond just Mystic Forge, and the fact that they have Force of Wills is mildly concerning, but not the end of the world. Alright, let's see. Let's actually leave that up for now. We'll pop one of these Lotus Petals. Basalt Monolith. I can play it? Like, I can play it, and that's a bunch of mana. I actually don't hate that. Into a defense grid. They don't seem to have any counter magic yet. Let's Mystic Forge that away. Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, they actually did have counter magic. Okay. I guess I should have played that then. Let's untap that. Let's get this off the top of our deck. Into a City of Traders. Okay. Well, let's see if they can go off from here, I guess. They got 4 cards, and they had to blow a Riddlesmith on the Force of Will, which is good. Walking Ballista for 1. And an Echo of Aeons. Okay. Well, if this resolves, I like it.
Some time later.
What is this? Oh, shit. Okay, that's cool tech. They got it. I've never seen that before. Prophet's Edict. Interesting, okay. Well, I've never seen that before. We got by that Force of Will. I thought they didn't have any, but... Well, we're bringing all this shit in. We can take out the Basalt Monoliths. Let's take out some number of Serum Powders. I really don't like Serum Powder in general. I know why it's in these decks, but I just really, really don't like it. But we'll try something like that. So if they don't have a force of will. This is great. Yeah, let's try it. Fuck it. I have a force of will for the Grim Monolith. No. Or if they do, they just don't care. Okie dokie. Well, we are going to run out of defense grid. And if they counter this, we'll run out the other defense grid. Okay. Well, let's see where the hell this goes. Actually, just to be safe, we're gonna run out the other defense grid too. Fuck it. We're going hardcore on this one. I do not have 6 mana to pay to do anything on your turn. You are free to do whatever. Alright. Now we get to do disgusting things. And get fucked. Not sure what our opponent does to get out of this. My constructs are going to be significantly larger than yours. If I even want to do that. Alright, what are we going to do here? I think we're going to go grab another Voltaic Key. Yeah, they're just getting that so that I can't hit the needle it, which is fine. Let's get a manifold key. Alright, what in our sideboard can I get here that will absolutely screw the opponent over? Paradox Engine doesn't do anything. The One Ring protects us for a turn, but then they can Pithing Needle Karn. Or they Pithing Needle the One Ring. I can Mycosynth Lattice, but then their construct is able to kill our shit. I can Ensnaring Bridge, but then they Needle Karn? That might be the best option here. Because they can Needle Karn, I don't really care. Because they're not going to be able to go off with what they have. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Protect our Karn as much as possible. Yeah, let's just grab the Ensnaring Bridge, play Ensnaring Bridge, pull up. I have no idea if they actually have Needle. I know I just played this deck, but they're playing a more blue-heavy version, so I don't know if they actually have anything. Like, I don't know if they have Pithing Needle in their deck. I probably should have switched these up between Volt. Okay, they did. They have a Haywire Might that they can't activate. Oops. Alright. Just have all of our mana available to us. Another Voltaic Key. So now this can allow me to go grab a Paradox Engine. And I have basically unlimited shit to do. Or I can go grab the One Ring, which I think is the better option. Or, I'm mildly concerned about this open... Is Chain of Vapor a instant or a sorcery? I can't remember. It's an instant, so they theoretically could bounce something here. Because let's see. That blue mana up, it says... Oh, wait, no, they can't bounce it. Never mind. I have 2 fucking whatchamacallits. They're just dead. I totally forgot about the defense grids. They literally can't do anything here. Okay. Nope. Ah, shit. Press the wrong button. Alright, let's hardlock these. Mycosynth Lattice. Play the Lattice. Pass the turn. And now the game is over. They're not giving up yet, though. Oh, because they can swing in at Karn with the might, because I have a card in hand still. Is that what they're banking on here? Is that I just can't empty my hand and they can eventually kill Karn? Alright. And now we can kind of just win at our leisure. I would like some colored mana, though. Alright. Unfortunately, I am starting to... This is the one downside, is since I don't have any colored mana, I can't get these stupid things out of my hand. And of course, they're the only things with colored mana in them in my deck. Alright, we can play a Voltaic Key. Now we can turn one of our own things into a creature to be able to block with. Like, I just wanted to get rid of their blue source to be safe. Yeah, okay. Once I started presenting a blocker for their Haywire Might, they gave up. Alright, on to game number 3. I think we just run it back, honestly. I don't think we want to change anything up, being on the draw versus the play. Run it back. Okay, so this hand... This hand is great if they don't wheel or they don't have a force of will. Is that a risk I'm willing to take? Yes. Like, this deck is a lot of fluff, as you can see from some of my previous videos, but we'll see what they got. Alright, Containment Priest right off the bat. Do they have the wheel to go with it? No. Okay. Do you have Force Blue card? It's really what this comes down to. What are your last cards? I mean, I guess if it's Force Blue card, it means they have nothing else going on either. Alright, let's see if we got Force Blue card. No. Okay. Into a Lotus Petal, which I'm just going to run this out now so that they can't just wheel it away. Like, they very well could top deck the wheel. Like, I'm not sure what those last two cards were. Well, they found a Riddlesmith, so that's what they're gonna play. So they're just doing this to play the Riddlesmith, and then I guess play the Breakthrough? Just to get more shit in the yard? See what they hit. Multiple Lion's Eye Diamonds, and that Prophet Edict thingamabobber. So, I mean, luckily I have pro everything this turn. So what is this? Put X +1/+1 counters on it. Okay.
Sometime later.
And then they're just going to Ballista me and upkeep? I have no idea how many cards they've even drawn to know if they have enough to be able to kill me. Alright, they've definitely drawn enough. I'm not going to sit through this here. Like, I got better things to do with my time. Cool variation of this deck, though. Very cool. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, won the die roll on round 4. A lot of mana and nothing to do with it, so we're going to ship it. This is a turn 2 Karn? I think we're going to keep this. Been one of the Basalt monoliths. Opponent kept on 7. Opponent appears to be F6. Alright. See where this gets us. Mountain. Goblin Welder. Okay, so we're up against Painter. Luckily, we can drop a Karn before they can start fucking with our shit. We have another Karn, too. So, we're going to go ahead and actually play out the Basalt Monolith so that we know that we have Metalcraft online as well. Yeah, we're gonna just kill the Lotus Petal. Luckily, all of their artifact-based shenanigans are now off. And Nile's Spellbomb, that's fine. Again, it can't do anything. So depending on what we draw here, we might have enough mana to be able to Lattice Lock the opponent. And then, ooh, we have a Mystic Forge. That's interesting. Alright, well, we're getting a key regardless here. Then we're going to have 4 mana. We can play Forge, and we'll at least be able to do something with it. Hopefully? Assuming they don't start swapping our artifacts around and shit, which is a possibility. Like, that's the problem, is they can start swapping all of our shit around. We'll see if they see it. Are they gonna swap the artifact around so I can't use it? Okay, they do see it, which is fine. While annoying, not the end of the world. So... I think I was... Did I take my Karn up last turn? I don't think I did. So the worst thing that can happen here is they can Pithing Needle my Karn and make a dude. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Interesting. They still can't do anything with it. Pithing Needle on Karn is a thing, but the Karn's kind of already done its damage. Ooh, I like that. Because that gives me creatures here shortly. We're just gonna tick up. And then... if they decide that they want to swap these around, that's actually totally fine now. Okay, they are going to swap them, which is totally fine, because this comes into play untapped. Which is all I wanted anyways. Like, this Goblin Welder is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's just going to make this kind of stuff annoying. Another Karn. Kind of useless at this point. Another Grim Monolith I can't cast yet. Okay. Because, like, them constantly swapping the monoliths between the graveyard and shit, like, that's totally fine. It kind of accomplishes what I wanted it to anyways. The only problem is like, my constructs are going to start fucking flip-flopping between those things. Okay, so, interesting. Broadside Bombardiers. That's interesting. Everything's going at Karn, okay. So that's 4. Karn's gonna die, but they don't know that I have more. Assuming they decide to chuck something at Karn. They're chucking the Soul Cauldron at Karn. That's actually fine. And the fact that Welder is tapped down now, too? Alright, let's see. I don't have a Paradox Engine in the sideboard, right? I do have a Paradox Engine in the sideboard. Alright, let's see how much mana we theoretically have here. This is 5, 7, 8. I'm 1 mana short of being able to Paradox Engine, but I can the One Ring. If I grab the One Ring, I'm safe from shit for a turn. Well, since this is mana positive anyways, we are going to go ahead and play it. See if we can chain more mana off of the top here. Get rid of this defense grid. Serum Powder is mana negative. Gets me up to 6, 7. Ooh, that's only 7 mana? I can go down to 3. Go back up to 4? This is an interesting spot. This stupid thing here is the problem. Is what? If I Karn, I go grab Paradox Engine, they spend the turn killing Karn, I can play the Paradox Engine and they can, like, loop something out of my graveyard? And they have to hold up the Nihil Spellbomb? I don't hate that. We're gonna grab the Paradox Engine and set up for next turn. Alright, let's see what they do here. Because again, they're back at a point where they have to kill Karn before they can do anything. And they can only floop one fucking artifact in and out of the graveyard. Alright. Attack and face, probably gonna throw the Spellbomb at Karn. Yes, throwing the Spellbomb at Karn. So what, they need Painter's Servant. What are they throwing in the yard? Phyrexian Devourer. Is this just a kill? Yeah, this is just a definitive kill. Shit. Alright. On to the next one. Fuck. Okay. Interesting. I forgot that these are playing this Phyrexian Devourer tech now. Alright, Dismember's in, Leyline's in, probably taking the defense grids out. Take 1 Serum Powder out. Like, this is another reason why I'm mad that these decks aren't playing Tormod's Crypt in the board anymore, because we could have avoided this whole situation if we had a Tormod's Crypt in the sideboard. No mana. We lose 3 of our Karns, though, so we cannot powder that hand away. This is awful. We're going to powder that hand away, but we're going to put the Karn back. I mean, this is a turn 2 Forge. I think we're going to keep this. Gonna hope that turn 2 Crystal Vein, or Forge is enough. They went to 5. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Alright, opponent hasn't done anything yet. Assault Monolith. Does that change things? I don't think it does. Because what? We can play this, play Assault Monolith. Yeah, let's do it this way. This way we can start making construct tokens as well. Untap it. Play Forge. This gives us some mana left over to be able to cast whatever we see off the top of Forge. Is another Mystic Forge? I don't want to play that. Is a Crystal Vein. Okay. We also could pivot onto the just beat them down with constructs plan here, because ours are going to be significantly bigger than our opponents. And we have no artifacts in the graveyard yet for them to be able to do shenanigans with. They have their owners of Saga now. Goblin Engineer, okay. Throwing Devourer in the yard, okay. So we need an answer for this Engineer real fucking quick. Okay, I like Karn. Karn is very good. Let's start out like this. Actually, let's not do that yet. This gives us the 4 mana to be able to Karn into a manifold key. Into a Paradox Engine that I can't cast yet, but I can next turn. This shuts down Agatha's Soul Cauldron. No target. Alright, pass the turn. Next turn we can go fucking apeshit, so... Because this shuts down Soul Cauldron. Alright, so Broadside can't kill Karn yet. Well, actually it can, but that's kind of irrelevant at this point. Because if they fling the Goblin Engineer at the Karn, that's enough to kill it. But then we're just planning on going off next turn anyways. Because we're going to draw the Paradox Engine. Yep, Karn's down. And that also shuts off their Goblin Engineer? Alright, we should be able to just go apeshit here. Add some mana. Go grab a Voltaic Key so that we split up what we're doing. Mana. Untap. We still have no artifacts in the graveyard. Paradox Engine up! Untap this. And now we go crazy. Let's grab black just to be safe. We're gonna get rid of that City Trader, so we don't want it. Alright, we're still in a position where we need something we can cast off the top. Okay, the One Ring. Now we go absolutely fucking bonkers. I don't think it's possible for us to lose from here now. Now that we found that. Unfortunately, again, super quick intensive. Make black again. Tap this. Play the One Ring. And now we just proceed to draw our whole deck. And we can actually kill this Broadside Bombardiers if we really want to as well. Okay. I mean, it still untaps everything. Well, make some more black. Once I got shit to do, we're gonna keep going. How many more Mind Break traps do you have? Oh, never mind. I'm done, it's fine. I forgot I can't cast non-colorless spells off the top. Okay, back to what we were doing. Roughly infinite mana. Oh my god, this is time intensive. This is game 2 is the fucking problem. Alright, we have basically infinite mana. We just need to find the fucking win now, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and start like cycling through shit. Like, we'll tap as we need to. Boop. I might just fuck that. Yeah, I just fucked that up. Shit. Okay, well, the nice part is we can untap this. The One Ring. This should do it. I'm just gonna tap stuff for mana. I don't need to untap it all anymore. Do you have another Mind Break trap? No. Alright, now I just need a bunch of fucking mana. So I'm gonna do this. I'm just tapping the monoliths now. Boop. Boop. Cast this. Boop. Boop. I'll add another one of these somewhere. Alright, I got 20. Alright. Go grab the Ballista. Cast the Ballista for X equals 20. Unfortunately, it's going to be 10 minutes to finish the last game. Alright, we got there. Alright, just shy of 10 minutes to win game 3. That was a much longer game than I was expecting. Alright, but that should be plenty of time to be able to finish it off. I don't think we change anything for being on the draw. Yeah, I think we just do the exact same thing. Yeah. Yeah, we keep this. This is basically everything we could possibly want here, so... So actually, in theory, this is a turn... This is a turn 2 Paradox Engine. So yeah. Turn 2 Paradox Engine, untap it into the One Ring. Hopefully that is enough. I'm curious what the black is for. Okay. Goblin Welder is fine. I'm not going to be putting anything in my graveyard, so... If I have a key, I actually have a turn 1 Paradox Engine. That's a pedal. Is that a turn 1? Yes, but it puts a pedal into the yard, which I don't want. Yeah, we want to just wait until turn 2, and then we can go off, because that'll allow me to untap stuff and keep going. Okay, I got the Soul Cauldron, it's fine. It does literally nothing on this board state. So, this should be turn 2 Paradox Engine, go crazy, because the Paradox Engine is going to be uncounterable. Unfortunately, it does mean that the One Ring is counterable. Do they have the Mind Break Trap for the One Ring? No! Alright, now we just go to fucking town. And now I should just be able to go off and win. Yeah, this is just disgusting. Alright. Just a casual turn 2. Assuming I can find the win cons. Alright, Karn. That's part of it. Now we just gotta get the mana. And I have another Karn. So if they somehow find a way to stop this, I can go get the Walking Ballista again from exile. So this should just do it. I just gotta get up to 40 mana. Did they concede? And they skipped up. Alright, we got there. On to the next one. Alright, final round. Got a rare appearance here from my co-pilot Cosmo. So we're gonna call this a good one here. This is great if they don't have counter magic. If they do, we kinda just get fucked. But I think we're gonna keep it. No idea what our opponent's playing. IB Raging Day. I'm saying that's supposed to be daily, but we're also on the draw, so hopefully we draw like another legit mana source. Preferably a true soul land and not a one-shot. Alright, we are up against some kind of domain nonsense. The hope is that they just don't have the Force Wall. Because, I mean, like, we're jamming. Like I said, a true soul. Okay, a defense grid is actually interesting here. We're going to see how quickly things resolve. So the problem is if we don't do anything, we need one more land to be able to defense grid, or another 0-drop artifact. We can blow this now to get a defense grid, but then we're down to 1 mana. I think we'll wait one turn here. I'm probably playing way too afraid of a Force of Will here, but the fact that this isn't a sticky mana source, so to speak, is what I'm concerned about. Alright, gonna Leyline Binding something. Okay, the LED is fine. It's much better than if they had gone after, like, a Grim Monolith or something. But depending on what we draw, we might try to go crazy here. Up the beanstalk. Okay. Alright, give me a sticky mana source. City of Traders. Okay, I like that. If that's the case, then we're going to go ahead and just slam this now. I'd rather see this get Force of Willed. Okay, cool. But there probably is a good chance that they have 3 mana next turn. And I'm not going to run out the Grim Monolith yet, when I can run it out next turn. And I can either Karn, Stoneforge Mystic, or the One Ring. If they don't do... Okay, another Leyline Binding. That at least gets rid of one. And they're, like, spending all of their shit going after these. We're also still in a position where, like, we're not losing our mana, and our opponent isn't presenting a clock yet. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Let's see if this resolves. That does resolve. Do I want Karn or Mystic Forge? Let's Forge. This resolved. We'll see if this eats it. Into a Karn on top. We already have one in hand. Opponent is doing something with a Flooded Strand here. Do they have another Leyline Binding? This is Leyline Binding number 3. Okay. Well, we didn't want that Karn anyway, so we're actually kind of okay with that. I think we're going to wait. We're not going to play this out yet because we don't have the mana to be able to actually do anything with it yet. The nice part is like, most of their removal is now gone. However, they are starting to actually, like, get through their deck here. And a Scion of Draco. Okay. We've been lucky that they haven't had any Forcibles yet, but they're a quarter of the way through their deck. Another one of those. This Scion of Draco's kind of annoying. We're going to try to drop the One Ring and see what happens here. We're hoping this resolves. If this doesn't resolve... Okay, this resolved. We have protection. Our Mox Opal is now online. Into another Grim Monolith? Yeah, we're going to run this out. Are they thinking about fucking getting rid of this now, or do they have Leyline Binding number 4? Alright, so now I can't do anything else. Like I said, the good part is they're 3 ley lines down, so in theory, if I can get Karn down into a ensnaring bridge, they're not going to have a lot of answers to it. They are at hardcast force mode if they want to. Go ahead and get in. It doesn't really matter, because I actually do have exactly enough mana to be able to Karn into ensnaring bridge. Assuming they... Okay. That is more mana. Serum powders, that stuff. Okay, let's... We're gonna try to go for the high roll here. Because if we can drop a ensnaring bridge, like, if none of this gets countered, we're in good shape. Okay. We go grab an ensnaring bridge, I guess. To try to buy us some time. See if this gets countered. Yes, this gets the counter. Oh, no, they're just going to Solitude. Is it just for the sake of trying to cantrip? I'm assuming this is just for the sake of trying to cantrip. Do they find the force? No. Okay. So now we are able to be hidden behind this ensnaring bridge for a little bit, unless they can go find a whatchamacallit, another, their 4th leyline binding. Alright, opponent's thinning the deck, I guess? I don't know. I really don't know what our opponent's doing here. Like, I guess an Otawara, but I don't know if these decks are playing that or not. Like, I really don't know what's in these decks. Okay, just dropping a Murktide Regent. They're trying to search through their deck. So I'm guessing they're trying to dig for that last leyline. Okay, so now I can kind of start doing dumb shit here. At least hopefully I can. Another Grim Monolith. I like that. So the absolute best thing that can happen here... Okay, there's a Mystic Forge. We are going to see if I can get... Do I want the Mystic Forge? I really want Paradox Engine to resolve. Okay, yeah. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with Mystic Forge. Unfortunately, granted, I can play a bunch of shit out. They're looking for a counter. If this resolves, it means they don't have counters. They officially can't leyline binding anything anymore. And they care about this. Alright. This means they do not have counters. Or at least it should mean they don't have counters. A manifold key, okay. So tap 2. Play a monolith. Tap this. I haven't played a land yet this turn. Yeah, because this all banks on me still having a land drop. Okay. So they haven't countered anything else yet. We're going to go grab the Paradox Engine. I mean, we kind of get blown out if they actually do have a counter and they've just been sandbagging it. Okay, they did not have the counter. Cool. And now we just go absolutely fucking apeshit. Cool. And tap. Now we just make a bunch of mana. And this is our win con. And now we just need to get up to asinine amount of mana. I'm curious why these are all, like, split up. Oh, just move them all together. Okay. There's no point in actually playing anything on the top of the deck right now until I need to. So, yep, now we just make a whole fuckload of mana. Because I only need 40 mana. Which I'm almost to right now anyways. This will get me to the 40 mana that I need now. The only way this goes wrong is if somehow our opponent has been sandbagging a counter, and then we're just gonna have to like go through this whole fucking loop again. Which, if they're sandbagging a counter off of this is pretty shitty of them. But I mean, I've seen people do it before, so... Go grab the Ballista. Hopefully they'll scoop when they see us grab the Ballista. Apparently not. Opponent is making us go through it. Alright, we'll get a 21. I fucked up. Alright, they didn't make us click through it. They were just waiting to see the win con, apparently. Against this deck, like I said, I got no idea what they're doing. So, like, I'm tempted to bring in dismembers to deal with, like, a collector oof or some kind of problematic creature. But the problem is that I have a ley line of the guild pack. Like, that doesn't matter. Alright, so based off of what I'm seeing here, Deafening Silence, Stony Silence, Lavinia. Yeah, I really don't know what to expect here. I think I'm gonna bring in the Massacres and the Dismembers. Take out the Basalt Monoliths. The Lion's Eye Diamonds. And 2 of the Serum Powders. Try something like this? I mean, this is something that... This is a ley line, or a... Urza Saga style hand. And it's got the Argenta Massacre, but no way to really ramp into it. I think I want to ship this one. Okay, we can keep this. Let's put back the redundant Ancient Tomb. Because we can get an Argenta Massacre on turn 2 with this. And then hopefully be able to just go to town. Or we can hopefully get a Paradox Engine on turn 2. Maybe? I would love a defense grid. Another Grim Monolith isn't bad. So if the first one gets killed, we have a backup. We're just gonna run that out for now. This Argenta Massacre is also really good against, if they had a ley line in play, I guess, because it's got protection from multicolor. A Beanstalk, okay. I'm not super sure what I want to play first here. I'm actually half thinking I want to play the One Ring first. Yeah, I think I'm going to drop the One Ring. And then if that doesn't work, I can Paradox Engine, untap it, Argenta Masticore, and then hopefully go to town. If the One Ring resolves, then I kind of get to go crazy. Lotus Petal, that's interesting. I technically have enough mana for the One Ring as well, or Paradox Engine. Do I want to? No, we're gonna go for the One Ring. I think I'd rather the One Ring get countered than Paradox Engine, because Paradox Engine is our... Okay. Yep. Got rid of 2 cards out of their hand. I'm also trying to not put too much on the board currently. Because if they do have a Force of Vigor, I don't want it to be able to do too much here. Right, they've got a hand full of interaction somehow. There's actually a part of me that I kind of want to just slam this Argenta Masticore and start trying to go to town. Ooh, Karn. Does that change anything? I think that's worth trying to do here. If they're just gonna keep fucking countering stuff, Karn is the type of thing I'd rather them counter. Okay, yeah, they're just going through counters. We're down 3 forces now. So this is actually kind of the best case scenario, because I'm running them out of counters. Granted, it is helping them churn through their deck, but I'd rather keep slamming counters, or slamming things into these counters that I don't care about as much as I do Paradox Engine. Because the main thing is that I want this Paradox Engine to resolve. Our opponent's finally doing something here. Okay, we got a Ponder going. I think they're feeling the pinch of not having lands. Chose to shuffle. Okay, I like that a lot. Finally has a land somewhere. Beanstalk number 2. Alright. The question becomes when do we just start slamming shit? Please give me a defense grid. Another Grim Monolith. I think we're gonna go ahead and try to slam this Argenta Masticore. See if they respect this at all. Because I can also start blowing up Beanstalks here. That resolved. Let's run out of Monolith. This is also a position where if they have... whatchamacallit? Force of Vigor, I'd rather them hit these. And again, it gives us Paradox Engine. It also 2-for-2s us, and they don't draw off of it. Alright. Oh, that's fucking sweet. Yeah, take those 2 out. I am A-okay with that. And they don't get to draw off of it, so... Oh, they have a Solitude? Okay, they're down to, like, nothing then. If we get a draw engine off of the top here, we are fucking golden. I'm A-okay with that. That also undoes a bunch of Ancient Tomb damage. Just playing a Scion of Draco, but they're refueling their hand. Alright, so basically we want them to not have a counter and us to get a draw engine of some sort. That is not what I was hoping for. Ah, fuck. I'm an idiot. I fucked that up. That is on me. So we're gonna go ahead and just run this out because it seems like they're F6. I fucked that up. I technically had the mana to do this without losing the ancient or the city. But we'll see. They didn't have anything. If they leyline binding this, we're just gonna scoop and go to the next one. They managed to blow us out if they did. But basically, we need a draw engine and for them to not have any more counters. If this is a leyline, then nope, just another Ponder. They're looking for a leyline, I'm sure. Xander's Lounge tapped. Another Scion of Draco. Alright, so we need some kind of engine off of the top, basically. And for them to not have found another Force of Will. No, Serum Powder. We're kind of just dead here. I think we have one more turn to find our way out of this. Because we're not dead on board yet, so I think we have one more turn. Like, one more draw to find a way to get out of this. Because this puts us to 3, which still leaves our Ancient Tomb online. We can't do anything, so... I don't think that punt with the land really mattered. Beanstalk number 3. Is it Murktide? Yep. Murktide for draw 3. Plays a Tundra. Yep, okay. We'll go to the next one. They managed to find their way through. We just didn't draw an engine quick enough. Being on the play will definitely help. So I think we just run it back. Turn 1 defense grid, turn 2 Karn? Hell yes. Hopefully they... Okay. So, no leyline, so we don't have to worry about a 1-mana whatchamacallit right off of the bat. Well, we're going to start off with the defense grid. Alright, 2 forces out of their hand already. I do not hate that. We're going to slam a Karn next turn, and then we're going to start going to town. I would like another sticky mana source here. Okay, Ancient Tomb. I like that, because it sticks around. You have another force. No. Okay. I could actually go get defense grid here if I wanted to. Because that's the funny part about this actually being an exile. Let's go get it just in case they can leyline binding here. Grab the defense grid back. Just in case they go like Xander's Lounge, Savannah, leyline binding the Karn. I have a new defense grid. Tundra. Rainstorm, okay. Alright, so let's say they have another counter for this defense grid. Grim Monolith. Okay. Okay, defense grid worked. We will uptick, not target anything. Do I want it? No, I don't want to pop this yet. They're in a position where they could leyline binding the defense grid now, and it turns their counter magic on. But it means they don't currently have counter magic. Beanstalk, okay. The One Ring, I like that. So what? We play the One Ring. Or do we want to get Argenta Masticore down yet? Well, I think we tick up Karn. No target. Play the land. Tap. Play the Grim Monolith. Play the One Ring. Protection from everything. See what we draw. We draw Voltaic Key. We're gonna wait to play that until next turn. I like where we're at. I feel like we were super heavily favored. If they can't deal with this defense grid... Okay, there's a leyline binding. What are they gonna go after? Are they going after the One Ring or the defense grid? Oh, they're going after the One Ring. Do they have another leyline binding? No. Okay. So the funny part is I can get this back, right? I think that's how this works. Paradox Engine off the top. Mystic Forge. Okay, so this actually should let me go grab Paradox Engine, and then I can start cycling through my deck. Okay. Let's go get... Because I technically can go get this fucking the One Ring, right? Yeah, I can actually get the One Ring back. But if I get Paradox Engine, it can't do anything. Actually, I can just go get Mycosynth Lattice and they're locked out of the game. Right? Because everything will be shut off. They can't activate their lands. Yeah, this is just a Mycosynth lock here. Yeah, we're just gonna Mycosynth lock them here. As long as I don't fuck up my mana situation here. And Mycosynth lock you? And that should be game. Yeah, they should just be completely locked out of the game now. And now I can just find my own way to win from here. Assuming they don't just scoop it up. And we got there! Alright, taking down Domain! I like it! Woo! Ooh, what can we say about this one? I mean, it was a blast to play. It played out pretty much exactly like I wanted it to. it did what it was supposed to do, and it did it well. It was able to go toe to toe with the super fast combo decks like Reanimator, being able to hold them off and then do our thing, and it was able to grind against super mid-rangey control-y stuff like that Domain Beans deck at the end there. It had trouble against what I figured it would have trouble with, which is obviously the Delver style variants and everything. But we got to see a lot of the cool interactions I talked about in the deck tech about being able to use Karn to go grab stuff out of exile, being able to tap and untap your Mystic Forge to be able to manipulate the top of your library, being able to pivot from I'm going to kill you to I'm just going to lock you out of the game. So we kind of got to see the full spectrum of what this deck can do, which was really nice. It was interesting that we didn't run into a lot of the null rod effects that were super, super prevalent in the meta even just a month ago. So it would be interesting to see how it fares using the Dismembers and the Argenta Massacre against stuff like that, but it just didn't really pop up during this league. But it was a blast to play. Fun little story about playing this deck this past week. I had some time constraints and wanted to originally play a brew I had been working on that I thought was going to turn into grindier, longer matches. So I wanted to play something that I thought was going to be quick. So I picked this since it's a combo deck that's pretty straightforward. It's able to go off on turn 2 pretty consistently, turn 3 and turn 4 as well. So I thought this would be something that was able to be quick to kind of blast through when I had some limited time. And it ended up being one of my longest leagues and longest videos to date. That's why I kind of am having this come out a bit late because I didn't have the amount of time to edit it that I wanted to. But it's just kind of funny to show that even if you're playing a combo deck that people consider linear, it does one thing, it can go off super early, it can still lead to some very grindy back and forth games. Like that final match up against Domain was great magic in my opinion. Like the grinding out, finding the holes, the back and forth and everything. So yeah, like just goes to show you, even though these linear combo decks can lead to some great magic for all of the people that are watching this that just aren't big combo fans or look down on us combo players because you think we just want to do one thing and one thing only and we don't want to interact. These decks can still do that. But anyways, I hope y'all had fun. I had a blast. Got some more stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm sorry this video is a little bit late. Like I said, I had some time constraints the last week to be able to film and edit, and this ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be. But I hope y'all had fun. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button below, hit the like button below. They're both free. And as always, thank you for stopping by. I will catch you in the next one. Stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, hit that like and that sub button below. They are both free ways to support my channel and support my content. Make sure while you're at it, you also go stop by and follow me on all the other socials to see what I'm doing outside of the world of Magic. If you really like what you see and you really want to support the channel, or you have a crazy deck list you want to see played here, stop by the Patreon, submit a donation deck list. Whether it's a deck you want to see me play, a challenge for something you want to see me build, or you just want to see me play whatever the hell I feel like playing that week, stop by there. It is just the price of a league to get your deck on video. As always, thank you for stopping by. I hope you all had fun, and as always, stay salty.